Of course, the St. Lucia Chamber of Commerce is keeping its ears to the ground and monitoring.
The St. Lucia Chamber of Commerce is closely monitoring the impact of proposed U.S. tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China. Executive Director Brian Luisi sat down with News Force to discuss the potential implications for St. Lucia's trade market, analyzing how these policies could affect local businesses and economic partnerships.
We are extremely trade dependent. A lot of our goods, from food right down to construction material, quite a bit of items are shipped from the U.S. And of course, we are watching very closely. We think that if the tariffs raise the cost of goods in the States, that will ultimately affect the business community and affect the cost of the goods we import from there.
The Trump administration has postponed its planned 25% tariffs on goods from Canada and Mexico by a month as leaders engage in discussions to strengthen border security and combat drug trafficking. However, the 10% tariff on Chinese goods took effect on February 4th. For the St. Lucia Chamber of Commerce, key concerns such as increased taxes and supply chain disruptions remain top priorities in ongoing discussions.
There may be some implications for availability and supply chain disruptions that may occur because people start to change the shipping and the purchasing patterns. But our members are keeping their eyes very close on the situation and seeing how it evolves in the U.S. and it evolves in terms of how their goods and prices will be affected. It is not good news if the cost of goods continue to rise and the taxes raise the cost. It gets right back to the consumer in the final analysis.
The government of St. Lucia has taken a proactive approach to the proposed U.S. tariffs by establishing a task force led by Commerce Minister Emma Hippolyte. The task force monitors developments, anticipates potential fallout, and collaborates with import-dependent businesses to mitigate any negative impacts.
We certainly think there is room for people to come together and share ideas and share approaches. One of the things that we have noted very recently is that after a number of years of the Chamber making the point about the need for us to re-examine some of the countries from where we import goods from, very recently the Ministry of Agriculture has been able to clear all the hurdles and now allows the importation of chicken from Brazil, which is something that the Chamber had been speaking about for quite a while. And those types of changes in purchasing patterns, in trading patterns, looking at alternative sources of goods, revisiting some of the trading agreements to see where there are opportunities, is all part of the discussion and all part of the suggestions the Chamber has made in the past.
Luisi commended discussions with key stakeholders, including the St. Lucia Air and Seaports Authority and the Customs and Excise Department, to ensure smooth operations and minimize disruptions to trade and industry.
St. Lucia importing so many of its goods, any inefficiency at the port acts like a tax on the country. And I think that message is very clear. I think SLASPA has understood that, Customs has understood that, the government has understood that. And so we're working with them on an ongoing basis, looking at the issues, seeing what can be done. And we think that if there is a tighter attention to some operational details and making plans for the short and medium term, we think there could be great improvements at the port, which could also mitigate any supply chain issues and added cost. I think one of the things that people should be aware that SLASPA is moving decisively to fix one of its berths that is damaged, which limits the amount of equipment and the use of that berth. So I think there are some decisive steps being taken, and the Chamber is in the vanguard of urging and pushing for these measures to be put in place and to rapidly improve the situation.
As the situation unfolds, The St. Lucia Chamber of Commerce, alongside government agencies and key stakeholders, remains vigilant in assessing potential disruptions and safeguarding the nation's trade interest. With a task force in place and ongoing discussions, the focus is now on adaptation and resilience in an evolving global trade environment.